Hello everyone! Welcome back to Immigration Insight. Today, we're going to clarify a common point of confusion in US immigration, understanding the difference between your status in the US and visa stamping on your passport. These two terms play a crucial role in determining how you live and travel as a non-immigrant. So let's break it down with some examples, including the H-1B and H-4 visas. Let's start with the basics. Status and visa stamping are not the same. Your status defines your legal standing while you're inside the US, while visa stamping is essentially the permission you need to enter the country from abroad. Think of it like this. Status is your permission to stay in the US, while a visa stamp is your permission to enter. When you enter the US on a visa, an officer reviews your visa stamp and issues a form known as the I-94. This I-94 is what gives you your official status while you're in the US and specifies how long you're allowed to stay. For example, if you enter on an H-1B visa, your status in the US is H-1B, but it's tied to the details on your I-94, not the stamp itself. The same goes for an H-4 dependent. When they enter, they are granted H-4 status based on their I-94. What happens when you travel? Here's where things get a little tricky. If you leave the United States, your status is essentially paused or cut off because your I-94 expires when you exit. To regain H-1B or H-4 status upon re-entry, you'll need a new I-94 from an officer at the port of entry, which resumes your status. This is important because even if you have a valid visa stamp, you can't just leave and re-enter without getting a new I-94. The role of the I-797 approval notice. For visa types like H-1B, O-1 and L-1, the I-797 approval notice is essential. This document is proof that your employment has been approved, and you need it to get a new visa stamp in your passport when applying at a consulate. The I-797 includes the petition approval details that confirm your eligibility. However, if you're on an H-4 visa, which is a dependent visa, you don't need an I-797 to get a new visa stamp. Your H-4 visa stamp is based on the primary visa holder's approval, in this case, the H-1B holder's approval, not an individual petition of your own. Summary. To wrap it up, remember, status is your permission to stay in the United States, while visa stamping is your permission to enter. Traveling outside the United States ends your status temporarily, and you get a new status when you re-enter with a new I-94. For H-1B and L-1 visas, you need an I-797 approval notice for visa stamping, but for H-4 dependents, this is not required. We hope this clears up the difference between status and visa stamping, especially for those on H-1B, L-1, or H-4 visas. If you still have questions, feel free to contact us or check out more resources on our website. Visit peerallylaw.com or call 5107425887. Thank you for watching Immigration Insight. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more immigration updates.